And that's why I love reading Vishal Mangalwadi, an Indian man who now lives in America. And he told a story about when he was first doing missionary work. He was educated and he was reaching out in the countryside of India, and he was living in a mud hut. And he would talk about how he was fighting with people who were letting their young daughter, die because they didn't want a daughter. But one day he was flying to a conference in Western civilization, and he was on a plane next to somebody and was telling him about the life that he was living, and that person started to have compassion on him and said, "You need to come to Britain and be a businessman." And he said, "Well, why is that?" And he says, "Because it's so easy to do business in Britain." And he thought, "Oh, this is going to be interesting. Why is that?" And the person said, "Because they trust you." And he thought, that was boring. And so he went to sleep. He said he didn't understand it until he went to another conference in Western civilization. And the person that was running the conference said, "Come, let's go get some milk." And so he grabbed his milk jug, walked down the road, went past a cow, opened up a barn, took his milk, filled it up in a vat from a tank, reached up on the window, pulled down a basket, put some money in the basket, took out the change, put the basket back, and walked home. And then Vishal said, "I get it now, because they trust you." He said if the producer couldn't trust the consumer, he would have to hire somebody to protect the milk. And we said, when I told the story around the world, people laughed, said, "Forget the milk, we would have stolen the cow as well." And he said, but if you can't trust the consumer, then neither can you trust the producer, because he'll want to water down the milk to make more profit. And so now your money is buying less than what you're paying for, devaluing your wealth, your hard-earned money. He said, but if you can't trust the producer and you can't trust the consumer, then you're going to say, "Give me a regulator to regulate this." And so the cost of that is again going to be tacked onto the milk. And then you can't trust the regulator either, and he's going to say, "I need a bribe to license you to sell your milk." And all of this is added to the cost of the milk, and now you're seeing the practical wages of sin in society.